Welcome in the Quest Number 9 podcast. My name is Seth Warner, and on this podcast, we talk about Kentucky basketball from a fan's perspective. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about Kentucky's big win versus Valpo in their second regular season game of the season. As Kentucky starts out, it ended up being a blowout, 107-59, where Kentucky made their first 6 field goals, coming out hot, and defensively was really able to swarm them at certain points, only shooting 15% from the field, really being able to dominate the pace of play, just overall being able to control this game as Kentucky led big for large portions of this game. And for Kentucky in this game, there are a lot of different contributors, with Modi Abata having 14 points, Brandon Garrison having 12 points, Colin Chandler having 14, Otagowe having his consistent 15, Denzel Aberdeen having 12, Malachi Moreno, kind of the big breakout star a little bit. He had 18 and 10, dominant on the glass, and just was ferocious on the glass and really was able to control this game and dominate interior wise. Got blocked a couple times by Valpo's big center. They had some good size to them for being a mid major. But overall, Kentucky was able to take advantage of Malachi's size and just their overall length and athleticism advantage, while being able to disrupt them offensively and be dynamic shooting it from the perimeter. Shooting 39% from three, getting up 20, getting up 28 threes, making 11 of them. That's the big number for me, making double digits. Making double-digit threes. Would like to get to that 30 mark, but was right around the number I would like to be at pretty consistently. When Kentucky shoots it that well, it's going to be hard to beat this Kentucky team with how much downhill ability they have, shooting almost 50% from three or 40% from three and making double-digit threes. Also being really efficient from the free throw line. That was really important, being 22 of 26 with Malachi Moreno having some improvement, only going 2 for 4 from the free throw line. But before this game was 1 for 6 from the line. We're seeing minor improvements from the line, but as a team, really took a big step up, shooting 84% from the free throw line, where we'd been shooting the low 70s to high 60s from the free throw line. And while our whole only one person on our starting five missed a free throw, that was Modi Abate, and he went 3 for 4. So overall, Kentucky did a really good job at the line, knocking them down. And that's just something that once you start making them, you get confidence. And I feel like we're improving on each and every game. Probably my two big performers for this game, like I brought up, Malachi Moreno had 18 and 10, really dominant from the field, shooting 57% from the field. Another guy, Colin Chandler, I felt like was really, really good in this game. Had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists with no turnovers, and really shot the three ball well, shooting at 50% and was 50% from the field. So, really impressive in this game as a guy that had struggled early on in the season when we had lack of depth at guard play, making him have to stack, making him have to play more of a point guard. And he's starting to stack performances and build up that confidence that we know he's capable of, and is a really dynamic player who is capable of doing a lot of different things as Kentucky's potential two guard that's really versatile. We talked about before the season about what his potential could be with a guy like Brandon Ramsey and different people. But overall, I thought he's starting to reach some of those things that we saw that he could before the season. Guy shooting, knocking down 50% of his threes, and really being an all around player as he helped lead Kentucky to a dominant win early and late, being able to hit Kentucky's first couple baskets to allow them to create a lead and give us some advantage going into the later sections of a game. Cam Williams is still struggling, went 0 for 3 from the field again, had 4 rebounds. A decent performance for him, was solid defensively, had a block, but overall, I would like to see more from him as another depth piece. to really fill out this roster as a guy that I see as a 2-year piece, could potentially be a starter next year, as how I would like to project him. But we'll see as the season goes how his development happens. Jasper Johnson, he played pretty well, had 9 points, shot three for five from the field and 3 for 4 from three in his 21 minutes. Would have liked to see he did a good job on the assist part of the game. He ended up with 5 assists, really was able to create for others, knock down open shots. That was sometimes inconsistent with him. He can make shots tougher than they need to be, and he's just sometimes sporadic with his play and with his just overall shot decisions and shot quality. As Brandon Ramsey says, you don't want to get your hardness score too high when you're in basketball. You want to do the simple thing and take the easy shot. Jalen Lowe returned from injury in this game. He played 18 minutes, had 6 points, 5 assists, only shot 2 for 7 from the field. He was 0 for 2 from three, but seemed like he was very much in control, dribbling through the paint, getting downhill, dishing, being that facilitator that Kentucky needs. As he gets into more of the rhythm, his shooting will come. So we'll just see as that comes along and as he continues to develop as Kentucky's PG1 going forward. Also, coming up, a big time game for Kentucky coming up on Tuesday. Kentucky is going on the road to their in state rival, Louisville, who's preseason number 11 at the moment, going on the road to a team that has put up 200 balls in back to back games, beating Jackson State and South Carolina State in back to back games, putting up 104 and 106, respectively. And this team, the real engine for this team is Michael Brown, the true freshman coming in 5-star, potential top 5 lottery pick. He's been averaging 14 points, 4 rebounds, 7.5 assists, hasn't missed a free throw, shooting about 33% from three as a big point guard, 6'5". And this Louisville team did a good job putting a lot of shooting around him. Kentucky will need to contain them in transition as they go. They have several 40% three-point shooters. Kentucky will need to contain on their runouts and overall just keep them in front of them and just be elite defensively on identifying matchups and taking advantage of Kentucky's size advantage. Other than Ali Khalifa, former BYU big, there's no one with a whole lot of size that will play, my understanding. But Ali Khalifa's only averaging about 11 minutes a game right now, coming off the injury. 7 foot 6'11", junior. Sander Flu's another guy with a little bit of size. He's averaging like 10.6 boards. He'd been playing about 20 minutes a game. Kesson Prayer, a guy that's been around for Louisville for a little bit, a 6'10" senior, transferred in last year. He's only averaging 6 points, 3 rebounds, but was a very dynamic player for them last year before getting hurt. He's a guy that, as they get healthy and as guys start to get in rhythm, they had several guys get hurt. He could be a potential mismatch guy, kind of a Andrew Carr-esque kind of player, big four or really skilled five. So we'll see how he ends up coming back from his injury. But their top 5 guys in minutes and just overall production right now is Connie Ruth, Ryan Conwell, their second leading scorer. He's averaging 15.5 and a little under assist and a half, a little under 2 assists a game. Knockdown 3-point shooter, shooting 41% for the last 3 years. Like I said, they have several guys who can really shoot it. Kentucky will need to mark them in transition and understand who they're closing out to. And then Michael Brown, he's third in the team in scoring 14.5 points, but is a dynamic weapon who can really hurt you in many ways. Javon Hardy, another kind of wing guard, been 210 pounds senior, averaging about 13 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. This Louisville team averages about 48 rebounds a game. Compare Kentucky's averaging about 50. So Kentucky had been a very dominant rebounding team. We'll see how that ends up shaking out against a very good Louisville team. Yeah, the rebounding battle is going to be really important for Kentucky going into this game to really control the pace of the game. And Kentucky, both these teams are going to want to run. So it's going to be important who wins the transition points battle, who gets more points off transition, and overall, who just controls the pace of the game with their size, their length, their athleticism, and just a more dynamic offensive and defensive team. With Jalen Lowe coming along and some of these different guys getting healthy for both teams, and who's the most kind of ready to go off the tip will be important. Who establishes their dominance in this game? Kentucky, probably a better defensive team, but Louisville, probably a better offensive team at this point. We'll see who ends up winning kind of that battle. And it will be interesting to come up on Tuesday at 8 p.m. on ESPN for one of the best rivalries, I would say, in sports. And I know we'll all be there to watch it. And you can go find me at Quest09 on Instagram and Twitter. And please like and subscribe. And I will see you next time.